Hi everyone, I trust that you're all well and I certainly hope that you are all blessed. Wow, it's been 2 years since I actually recorded a video for YouTube, let alone a video in general. Hey, a lot of things have happened throughout these 2 years, and I've just been having the strong conviction to just come back to YouTube and yeah, a conviction from the Holy Spirit that this is a place where I need to just, pour out myself, regardless of everything and anything really that takes place in my life. But, hey, one of the things is that I'm so grateful to the people who did not unsubscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate every single one of you, and I really pray that God richly blesses you, because hey, that just was my motivation to say, well, I have to come back, and grow this channel, grow it with what the Lord has told me to. And yeah, let's get into this video. So throughout these 2 years that I've been off YouTube, mind you, this was not intentional. I didn't plan that I will, intentionally take a break. No, I mean, my channel is still so small to be taking a break. But yeah, I'll tell you some of the things that contributed to me being off YouTube, my channel. One of the things is that I developed a strange phobia towards looking into a camera and speaking. And I knew this is a plot of the enemy, because for the longest time, since I was small, man, I would always, have my mom's phone, or I'd have a laptop, and I'll take videos of myself and be speaking, what we call vlogging and stuff like that. Always showcasing what it is that I'm doing currently, and, just speaking in general. So when I recollect those memories, I know and I firmly believe that that is what the Lord actually had packaged for my life, is that I am meant to be a speaker on wide platforms, And so I felt that the enemy was actually trying to fight my self-confidence. This whole thing is that I never had an issue. I never really had an issue with self-confidence, low esteem, low self-esteem, if I may. I didn't have those issues. But for these past 2 years, it was rife. And I actually questioned, no, man, I am a child of God. This is not supposed to be happening to me. But unfortunately, truth be told, the enemy actually fought me in that area. And every day, believe me, I would wonder, when is the day that I'm actually gonna, muster up the courage to actually have my ring light and have my cell phone again and take a video. And today is finally that day. The second reason of why I've been off YouTube for so long is the fact that I've become more busy than busy. By means to say that I've actually got another baby. My son has got a brother now, and I thank God for that gift, because wow, I don't picture my life. I cannot picture my life without them. And so my husband and I have been blessed by God with another baby boy. And yeah, he's about to turn 1 sometime soon. And I'm just so grateful. They've been keeping me on my toes, to be honest, because hey, these are boys we're dealing with, and they are so playful, rough, you name it, so daring. I always have to be checking around to see that they're not up to mischief. But that's not me complaining. That's just me explaining that I've had a lot on my plate, and I've enjoyed it, very much so, enjoyed it. And the third thing of why I've been off YouTube, which will actually stream into my encouragement for today, is the fact that my phone got stolen. So I had a cell phone, very good quality. I think the megapixels of my front camera was over 30, if I'm not mistaken. And then the back camera was like, if I'm not mistaken, was like 50 megabytes. No, megapixels, sorry. So what was happening is that, my screen broke. And then, okay, I thought, no, I'm not gonna fix it then because I had just given birth and, things like that. But what happened thereafter was the time when I wanted to fix my phone. This is when I discovered that the phone was missing. And yeah, eventually I concluded that the phone was stolen because I searched high and low. And all my content, previous content for the previous videos I've recorded were on there. And yeah, really, there was nothing that I could do about it. It was like crying over spilt milk, But the Lord convicted me of something where He doesn't want us to complain over things that have happened in the past. No, life is progressive, meaning we have to move forward and not even look backwards. So I was complaining every day. I said to my husband, you know what? Oh my goodness. That phone was practically my life. It had, a lot of our pictures, my kids, yeah, both of them, the firstborn, pictures from when he was a baby, growing up. And the funny thing is that I never thought to restore all of that data on a, Google Drive or wherever. So I'm sitting with a whole lot of regret, but yeah, life goes on. And then with me complaining and ranting about the fact that this phone is gone, it creates such quality content. Well, in my opinion, it created quality content because, hey, even the space, the storage was like 128 gig. And hey, I really, my heart was sore. Believe me, my heart was sore. But the Lord had to rebuke me. And He asked me, what is it that you have in your hands, Taryn? And then I thought, hey, Lord, I've got this cell phone and it's not the best quality. The camera quality is not that good, but it works. Okay, it works. And then the microphone, yeah, now and again it gives issues, but yeah, I won't really need an extra piece, an accessory to improve the volume. Hey, the Lord told me, stop complaining. Use what you've got in your hands. And so He led me to the book of 2 Kings chapter 4 from verse 1 to 7. And I believe that we are all familiar. If not, I'll just summarize it quickly. Where there was a widow. And this widow had a husband who had left debt. He created debt and left them just like that because he died. And what happened was the collectors, debt collectors, for lack of a better term now, but the collectors came and unfortunately they were unable to pay up the outstanding balance of the debt that had been there. And what happened was her two sons were going to be taken in as slaves so as to repay, so as to pay up this debt. And she cried. Hey, this widow cried to the extent that she had to go to the sons of the prophet Elisha to go and tell them, to state her case, because he was one of, I can say, their brothers, saying that they were sons of the prophet, so they were actually well acquainted. And so the prophet Elisha then asks the woman, goes to her and asks, what do you have with you? What do you have in your house? And she says, well, I've got only this little bottle of oil. That was the solution. He told her and he instructed her to go and borrow empty jars from, her neighbors, wherever she could, to just gather as many jars as she could. Now, I can imagine what happens is that this is real life. Some people have been at a stage where, they can't help but to borrow. So people must have thought, hey, this lady, she's coming and knocking by our house again, eh? And I just can't imagine how it was because, in real time, it's something else where people are not even willing to assist anymore. They get fed up so quickly with helping, and that's what the Lord wants us to do, to help. And so when she went and asked, no, I'm asking for empty jars. I'm sure they did it with pleasure to say, well, hey, we've got nothing to do with empty jars. Yeah, you can have all of them if you like. And this is where the miracle takes place. As she collected these jars, the prophet then began to pour the oil that she had. This was not the oil that the prophet had or the oil that your neighbor has. It was in her house. That's all she had. And he poured into each jar. Poured into each jar. It wasn't finishing until the last vessel was filled. And she said that he asked her, is that all you've got? And she agreed that these are all the vessels that she's got now. And that's when the oil stopped. And then he further instructed her to say, well, now you can go and sell these bottles of oil and pay off your debt. And that is what she did. So in essence, we see that God multiplies that which we've got in our hands at this very point in time. What is it that we've got in our hands? Because he will not multiply. He's not waiting for you to have much to bring in multiplication. The very little that we've got is what he is looking at to bring in a bountiful amount of harvest, a bountiful amount of testimonies from just the little that we do have with us at this present moment. And so, hey, I was so encouraged, though it took much time. I had to really just stay in the word, remembering what the Lord had said is that, hey, Taryn, use what you've got in your hands. Because if you don't, hey, you just... You know what happens is that when we don't use what we have in our hands, it begins to stagnate. And anything that's left for too long begins to stink. Hey, it begins to smell because there's practically no life there, you know. So, hey, it was a rough 2 years. But I thank the Lord that he gave me that word. And similarly, there might be somebody who's watching this video who feels the very same way or similar to what I've felt, is that you know that the Lord told you or he gave you a vision or he's given you a specific assignment or mandate, but you feel that you're not adequately equipped to carry out this assignment. I'm here to tell you and here to encourage you that whatever you have in your hands, please use that so that God can multiply it. Use it no matter what. It may look so small. Do not despise small beginnings. It may look so small. What you have may be, it may look like it's just incompetent, or you might feel incompetent for the task at hand. But trust in the Lord and rely on his word. Rely on his word that, you know what, whatever he has said must come to pass. Whether you've got much, look, God entrusts us with much when he knows that we can handle the little very well. When we are good stewards of the little, that is when he entrusts us with much. So there's no excuse. I know that we try to find a million excuses of why we are not doing what God has called us to do, but in essence, what God is looking at is just that little that you have in your hands so that he can bring multiplication. And so I hope that you are encouraged by this word as much as I am, because I tell you, from not doing this for 2 years, it's actually a big step of faith that I've taken. And you know what? Faith without works is dead. As we read in the book of James, faith without works is dead, you know. So whatever it is that you have with you, even how small it may be, how small the dream may be that God has given you, work on it every day. Work on it daily. If not daily, find time, create time to work on what he's given you so that it may be multiplied into something great. If you've enjoyed watching this video, kindly subscribe to my channel, leave a big thumbs up, leave a comment, even a word of encouragement for me and everyone else really who will be watching this video. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. For now, take care and God bless. Mwah. Shalom.